Hello, everyone, and welcome to Impact AI. I'm John Hodges. On this show, we dig into how AI, data, and strategy intersect to help businesses grow smarter, not just bigger. Today's focus, empowering small businesses through data-driven decision making. I'm thrilled to welcome Anshuman Jaiswal. Anshuman currently serves as Chief Business Officer at Onepint.ai, an inventory SaaS platform. Before that, he has held leadership roles in growth strategy and operations at companies including Nextable, and he has deep experience in technology, supply chain, and SaaS. He understands scaling product, data, and operating models across resource-constrained environments. So he's uniquely positioned to talk about how small businesses can harness data to make better decisions. Anshuman, thanks for being here.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure.
Could you introduce yourself to our listeners? Maybe share your journey, how you arrived at your current role, and what drives your work today.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, I'm Chief Business Officer at Onepint.ai, and I focus on strategy, operations, and business development for Onepint.ai, which is essentially an inventory SaaS and AI platform for small businesses and mid-market. So companies who are holding inventory, selling inventory online or offline, and are facing variety of challenges, whether their forecast accuracy is low, or they are overstocking too much, or they have tariff situations and they are not able to simulate the demand. We do all of that through our platform, and we are integrating a lot of new things that AI revolution is giving to us in terms of providing generative AI capabilities to answer any and every question you might have as a supply chain executive, or using predictive analytics to really understand all kinds of patterns, whether it is seasonality or occasionality or promotions or pricing, and see how all of that would impact your demand forecast. And we are pushing the envelope towards getting agentic AI capabilities to kind of create digital twins so that some of the work could potentially be automated so that we can free up our scarce human resources and scarce capital to do more complex, creative, customer-facing work.
Wow, I got
Yeah.
you. So you've moved between product operations and strategy roles. What's been the biggest learning from wearing all those different hats?
Yeah, so I think in order for any SaaS company to succeed, we have to be really fluid in our thinking, and we have to operate very cross-functionally. So prior to Onepint.ai, I was leading growth strategy for Nextable, and I had spent a number of years, almost 12 years, at a company called A.T. Kearney, it's a management consulting firm, really working with large CPG and retail companies driving their digital transformation agenda. And in all of this, I realized that you need to have vision and a strategy, but strong execution excellence. And you need to essentially have a cross-functional mindset so that you can collaborate with finance and merchandising and operations, and to kind of get the best outcomes for the role that you are playing. So right now, I'm primarily focused on where the company would go from here. It requires a lot of collaboration with our product management folks to really understand how we can shape the product, how can we bring innovation into the product, how do we deliver to the customer is another thing, right? Because you have to deliver the ROI. So you need to really straddle between thinking about strategy and vision, collaborating with our product folks, as well as really thinking about operationally how all of this fits together from your own cost structure perspective, as well as how you are delivering your product to the customer.
Right, right. So working in growth strategy and operations, what's one project or initiative that really reshaped how you think about data and the impact on business?
Yeah, I think data is very crucial, John, as you're thinking about growth strategy. If you're a small business or a large business, a lot of your decisions are increasingly data driven. So having a good set of clean data is very important. So give you example, a lot of companies have some sort of CRM. Now you have CRM, but do you have good quality available data in CRM so that
Mm-hmm.
you can run your email campaigns, your promotions. In many situations we find to get the real power of analytics in AI, data becomes the bottleneck because you have never thought about the data taxonomy, or you don't have good data standards within your own company. You don't capture data in the first place. I want to reach out to my customers, and I find that 20% of the customers have not, you have not captured their email IDs. How would you reach out to them,
Right.
or how would you run go to market campaigns? So as simple as that, is important. The additional thing is how do you keep your eyes open in terms of figuring out what AI tools can you use? Can you use something for your email campaigns if you are delivering thousands and millions of emails to your customers if you are a B2C company? Can you use other tools which might be helpful for your outbound campaigns as well as tracking your inbound campaigns as well? So you have to keep an eye open in that sense in terms of what tools you can use, but really drive data quality in your organizations to really get best out of AI and analytics.
Definitely. So, as the chief business officer at OnePint, what is your vision for how small to medium business companies um, should use their data any differently than like large enterprises?
Yeah, I think from small business perspective, you have limited resources
Right.
and capital. Good part is you are agile, nimble, and if you have an insight, you can execute that insight immediately. Versus large enterprises, it will take months and years before it gets into companies' strategic planning slash vision and roadmap. That's why larger companies are, it's difficult for them to react to newer trends. So if you're a small business and if you are running, it's an e-commerce business, let's assume, are you are you capturing all the analytics on your e-commerce? So who is coming to your website? How frequently they are coming? What pages they are going to? And how can you change your response to the customer? Do you know your customer profile? So some of those investments really go a long way because ultimately, if you have insights around customers, you can do a lot and you can have higher ROI. And that is where a lot of energies can go in. Similarly, on the backend side, on supply chain side, if you are selling sunglasses or if you're selling snacks, and if you have a D2C brand and a small business, you are selling online, maybe you have one or two stores. You are probably looking at some wholesale partnerships or you're selling on Amazon. You are thinking about a lot of complexities in supply chain, and
Yeah.
you can start using, maybe you will start of course using Excel or Google Sheets to manage what are my POs and where are my shipments and how much inventory do you have wherever. But as you grow a certain scale, that is where you should start looking at tools to essentially turbocharge your operations. So I think it's all about figuring out how do you scale and adopt new technologies, because I think the aspirations for small businesses as same as large businesses as well. You want to adopt AI, you want to become productive, you want to become efficient, you want to serve the customer better. So those aspirations can be easily met, and I think there are a lot of AI companies who are serving various parts of the businesses, whether it is small business or mid market or enterprise market. and those are available. You just need to be open to experimentation and making right investments.
Right. I agree. So how can AI be used as an accelerator? Like how can AI extend what small teams can do with data, especially when they don't have, like you said, the larger budgets and they don't have large analytics teams? How can AI be used to accelerate their work?
Yeah, it depends on the functional use case, John, of what you are really trying to solve in the company. For example, if you are a small business, you are fast growing D2C brand or a fast growing organization serving whatever be the functional vertical, you can look at each of the functions and say, hey, how can I infuse more AI? For example, you are sending emails to your customers. Now, can you use AI tool to personalize those emails? Um, can you use AI to not only send personalized emails but send at scale? You can use AI there. How about if you are using a variety of tools? And most of the tools these days, Microsoft has Microsoft Copilot. You have variety of tools, and everybody comes with some version of their generative AI Copilot. Are your teams using that? Are they doing research? For example, the sales reps are there, and can you make them more efficient by providing them some kind of a Copilot agent so that they have better research on customers, they have better understanding of the customer profile. It will really reduce the effort that salespeople do researching and googling and compiling and figuring out what the customer profile looks like. You can do some of those things, and really turbocharge your productivity by using, I would say, publicly available tools such as Perplexity, Claude, or ChatGPT in terms of ideation, brainstorming, potentially drafting.
Right.
So which is very important from content management perspective, from from promotions perspective, any customer facing thing. You could do some of those things. So it really depends on what you are really solving for, and there are tools available. One of the things that small businesses and mid-market companies vary about is affordability. Yeah, there's a tool out there, but I can afford it. It's not for me. I think it's a myth. It's a myth because you have variety of tools. Maybe the functionality is optimal, maybe, but at your price point that you are willing to pay, there's something out there. It might not be greatest tool in the world, but it would serve you better and make you efficient and make you better. And the biggest news is, if you as a small business or mid-market business, if you don't use AI and your competitor is using AI and it's becoming efficient, you'll be forced to become one. So you become competitive before others become competitive.
Right. Yes, I agree 100%. So what structures or processes do you see that convert data insights into operational decisions? So the data doesn't just sit on the dashboard. What type of office type processes and what would you call it? Um, um,
You mean reporting,
yes,
reporting and insights? Yeah,
right,
yeah. No, I think see, ultimately, decisioning is key to whether you are, making decisions of capital allocation. Where should I spend, or what my expense structure should be, or
right,
how should I price my product, or how should I understand demand elasticity? Uh, Everything requires data, right? At the end of the day.
yeah,
So from companies' perspective, businesses' perspective, they have to figure out how they are capturing data. If you have few stores, of course you have POS. Of course you are capturing data. So how are you mining data? So think about the life cycle of data. You need to capture it.
yeah,
You need to store somewhere. You would potentially create uh, some kind of a small warehouse,
hmm,
right? You have to capture it. You have to store it. Then you have to process it to generate insights. It could be financial reports, it could be operational reports, and some of these reports would help you what has happened. But what you would want to know is what would happen. But it is crawl, walk, run approach, John, right? Because if you can't crawl, you can't be imagining running. So you have to, think it from that perspective.
Right.
Am I capturing data? If I've captured data, am I storing and processing it? Yes, am I producing insights? If I'm producing insights, am I just producing insights of what has happened in the past, or can I predict certain things for my business, right? And you don't have to do a lot of data insights for every damn process in the world, right? You have to figure out what generates most ROI. And most of the businesses are focused on top line
Yeah.
and minimizing the cost structures, right? Right. So if you can point some of these insight generation towards that, so that you are sharper in your decision making, in your capital allocation, in serving your customers better. And that is the power of using data and insights. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. So one barrier seems to be trust. How do you help small business leaders feel confident in AI-driven insights, especially when they may not have such a technical background?
Yeah, I think you bring a good point. I think trust is very important because a lot of people fear about AI that it's some sort of a black box which will churn out the answer that is not reliable. So there's a concept called explainability. And we at Onepint.ai, we run a SaaS AI platform ourselves. We keep explainability at the core, wherein whatever answer AI is giving to you, it's not a black box. You can troubleshoot it, you can slice and dice the information, you can ask clarification, and so that all the explanations about why a certain decision was reached can be traced back. For example, if you if you have a stock out in one of the stores in New York, and you want to, the AI has made the decision based on historical information. It's best to shift the stock from another store in New York, which probably has more inventory than it's needed. It's better
Mhm.
to shift it to the other store where it's out of stock.
Right.
Now that decision has happened, the stock movement has happened. AI has made the decision. Somebody has executed that decision. But if you want, but the AI should have capability to tell you, hey, I made this decision because there was an excess inventory in store A, and I made it transfers to store B, and there is not going to be any negative impact in store A, right? So
Right.
as long as you have explainability and the tools that you are seeing, AI tools, explainability is growing because that gives people the confidence. The other fact is to just understand that there's a concept called hallucination. So AI models hallucinate. It's okay. You are probably starting at zero baseline. If AI is able to take you to 80% correct answer, that might be good enough. You don't need 100% accurate answer, but 80% might be good enough. So some lack of reliability in 100% accuracy of answers that you might get from AI is probably acceptable. If using your analogy, I want 100% answer because I am pilot. I don't want 80% answer. But in but in non-critical function, 80% answer is good enough.
Right.
And if you get 80% good enough answer to run your business without investing a lot of time and energies, it's a great answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And quicker too. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, looking forward into, well, we're already in the last quarter of this year, which is hard to believe. But looking towards the end of this year and into 2026 and beyond, what do you see um, evolving capabilities in AI or data-driven ecosystems should small businesses be looking out for?
Uh, so I think the caveat is small business because if you paint a wider spectrum, AI is changing rapidly. Every 3 months, you have newer, stronger capabilities coming to fold, which are available to B2C and B2B markets. Knowing that AI is going to be there, imagine when nobody had an app, and in 2010 you had iPhone moment, and then everybody started to have their own apps on your mobile phone. I think we are going through the same process, wherein you don't have any AI, tomorrow you'll have AI, and AI is already embedded in many software these days, knowingly or unknowingly. So from small business perspective, infuse AI wherever you can, and how you're running your supply chain, your operation, your merchandising, your customer service, your customer support. Infuse AI where you can to become more efficient. But as you infuse, make sure you are cognizant of what ROI you are getting,
Right.
right? So, for example, you will see a huge adoption in customer support, in terms of how you are serving customers better. So, that might be a perfect use case to probably look at. You will see a lot of AI going in supply chain because it's very data intensive. What
Right.
inventory, supply chain, logistics, transportation. So as you are managing all of that, you would see a lot of AI applications. So just be lookout. Look at your business and see what AI investment you want to do. Have that test and experimentation mindset.
Yeah.
Do something versus doing nothing, and be ROI focused. And I'm pretty sure by end of 2026, you'll be better off than what you are today.
Right. Well, excellent. Okay. Well, that takes us into the future and finishes all our questions for today. Anshuman, thank you for bringing your insights. And I think what stands out is how small businesses don't need to replicate the enterprise scale in order to benefit from the data. Instead, just starting smart, focusing on key decisions, and using AI as a force multiplier can make a big difference.
Absolutely, John. Thank you.
You bet. So for our listeners out there, data-driven decision making is not just for big companies. With the right thinking, small businesses can compete harder and move faster. Thanks for listening to Impact AI with John Hodges. And until next time, stay curious and keep making an impact.